I'm James Lynch, and this is my stock report for UFC Vegas 120, taking a look at the biggest winners and losers from the event. Biggest stock riser on this card, it's an easy one. It is going to be Quillen Salkeld getting it done. Just a dominant performance here on Mateusz Gamrot, taking him out in the first round, getting another submission victory. Didn't look like a minus 140 favorite. He looked like a minus 500 favorite in this fight. Really like what I saw. 26 years old. This is why they do fight night cards like this with the matchmaking, and it works out really great in situations like tonight where they have sort of the up-and-comer against the veteran, and you get to see, can they pass the test? And boy, did Quillen Salkeld ever pass the test tonight. You look at the stats here. Not many strikes here, just 10 significant strikes compared to 3 for Gamrot. Just needs the one takedown, to get it done. And really great work here for Quillen Salkeld, who gets another submission victory here. He's been finishing a lot of, his fights, which has been super impressive. He gets the first round finish on Beneil Dariush, Malarkey, Nasrat. This is exactly what you got to do, and I think the UFC's got themselves as a star in the lightweight division, someone that they can continue to build on and that fans are excited about. He's got a good personality, good interview. This was a breakthrough performance here for Quillen Salkeld, who, again, has had good wins before, but to do it against a guy like Gamrot, very impressive. Gamrot's fought with some of the best in the division. He ran through him quicker than Charles Oliveira did, right? Like, very impressive there, for what he was able to do. And take out a guy like Gamrot, who, again, you look at his losses, they're some of the best guys in the division. Hooker, Oliveira, more so Oliveira, but you get what I'm going with here. So just super impressed with Quillen Salkeld. And the fact that they go to Australia a lot, the UFC does, or they at least go like once a year. They're going to use him, and they're going to continue to build him up. And they've got kind of the new wave in Australia right now with this guy. So super impressed with Quillen Salkeld. Huge win in the main event, taking out Mateusz Gamrot. Okay, second biggest stock riser on this card. Again, we didn't have a lot of options because there wasn't that many fights on this card. But I'm going to go with Alexia in her win over Amanda Lemos. Again, Lemos, former title challenger. Obviously, Alexa was favored to win this fight at minus 320. I thought she put up a good performance. The stats show her, obviously, putting it on Amanda Lemos with 81 significant strikes compared to 56. I mean, Lemos is a good striker. She has knockout power. For her to go out there and do that, and the total strikes was 199. So pretty impressive here. I thought she looked good. We sort of have a new player now at 115, kind of working her way up a little bit. It's kind of a changing of the guard right now, I think, in this weight class. And obviously Amanda Lemos, not what she once was in terms of being a contender in the weight class. Another tough loss for her. She's 39 years old. Is that enough to cut her from the UFC? We'll see. Trying to remember how many losses. Yeah, 3 straight losses, lost 4 of 5. Certainly could see her being on her way out after that loss. Not like she's a boring fighter, but just, again, what is UFC getting out of her unless they want to continue to build fighters off her in the strawweight division? But I thought Alexia, really good win here tonight. And, again, has sort of emerged herself, has emerged as a, someone to keep an eye on at the 115 division. So very good stuff there from Alexa. And third biggest stock riser on this list. We're going to go to the prelims. I was pretty impressed with Juliana Miller tonight. And again, I know she, big favorite here, minus 375. But this is what you got to do when you're a big favorite like this. You got to go in there and you got to get a finish. And she certainly did that in this fight. And I'll be honest, Miller surprised me a bit. There was a point where, she wasn't fighting that much. She was pulling out of a lot, fights and having these layoffs. And remember, she started her UFC career going kind of 1-2 here, like you see. But now she's got 2 wins in her last 3 fights. She rebounded in a big way from that loss to Judici. I like what I see here from Juliana Miller. Of course, she's now training in Spokane. With obviously Michael Kess's gym over there. So it's been pretty impressive to see what she's been able to put together. Really like the performance here. If we look at the stats, actually I haven't had a chance to look at this. Want to say she probably landed her. Yeah, 24-7. So yeah, pretty impressive there. So I thought Juliana Miller, again, considering she's someone that, did win the Ultimate Fighter, for her to now go on a nice little run here. It's good to see. It's taken some time, but good to see it all working out here. Big win there for Juliana Miller. Okay, let's get to our stock droppers on this card. Didn't have any honorable mentions tonight because, again, I didn't think there was anything notable. Let me know in the comments, though, if there is anyone else that I missed on the stock rise you wanted in there. Again, I thought Ty Miller looked good tonight, too. Maybe you can give him an honorable mention. Asplin getting a decision, too. So that was kind of my thoughts there. Okay, so biggest stock dropper on this card. I thought Louis Sutherland had a terrible performance here. He was also, I think he was the only betting favorite tonight that lost. He was minus 220, did not look like it. Jose running right through him here, getting it done. And for Louis Sutherland, again, you're in a division at heavyweight where you get a win or two, you could really propel yourself up. Now he's lost 3 of 4, just the 1 win over Tuivasa. So it's not looking good here. We'll see if they let him stick around here. But this was the type of performance that looked like he wasn't UFC caliber tonight, in my opinion. I don't need to be so harsh. Am I wrong here, guys? You let me know in the comments. But I really thought Sutherland dropped the ball tonight. Didn't look good. And, hasn't really been able to put it together in the UFC. Again, the concerning part is it's another first round loss for him. That's not going to really crack it on the UFC's heavyweight roster. So tough loss there for Louis Sutherland. He is the biggest stock dropper for me on this card just because of the performance. Now, if you want to talk actual context, we could have a bigger stock dropper, but Mateusz Gamrot losing the way he did again. This is another fight. I mean, we're 2 fights. He had the Oliveira fight where he got choked out in the second round, got dominated in that fight. This fight was even worse. It's win-loss for Gamrot. I know he's coming off a win coming into this fight, but 35 years old, going to be 36 in December. I mean, I think even before this fight, it was kind of known, but his days as a contender are kind of done at this point. I think it's too deep of a division. They've got too much talent. I just don't think Gamrot's going to be able to claw his way back up at this point. And, the fights prior that he had, it was nice to see him get a submission win over Ribovics, but a lot of decisions. So even that's why the UFC wasn't super eager on giving him a lot of opportunities. Of course, probably famously known for the fact that he didn't get the fight with Islam and they opted to give it to Volkanovski instead on short notice. Like, what does that say? You're the backup, and they opt to go with someone completely different. So, tough loss there for Gamrot. Again, he's going to continue to be used as a guy to build up-and-comers in the division, I think. Like, you'll start to see maybe your Contender Series guys and guys on the come-up in the weight class, being used towards him to kind of build a name off of. So tough loss there for Gamrot. Again, if you want to put Gamrot number 1 stock dropper, I'm fine with that too. I just thought Sutherland's performance was far worse and he was actually favored to win. So that's why I put him ahead of him. Okay, third biggest stock dropper on this card. Unfortunately, this guy I really like, but it was a tough one there tonight, and that's Billy Q. I thought him moving up a weight class would be the difference, but 37 years old, going to be 38 now. He's now lost 3 in a row, lost 4 of 5. At least he didn't get finished in this fight, but I went and looked at the stats here. Totally got outstruck in this one. Look at this, 116-73 for Diego Ferreira. By the way, Diego Ferreira still got it at his age. He's looking good in that. But Diego Ferreira also getting 4 of 9 takedowns. Tough one there for Billy Q. I think this might be the end of the road for him. Really good guy, though. I know he's got a really successful gym going on and everything, so I'm sure he'll be okay. But I don't know if they'll give him another fight here. We'll have to see. Tough one there. Like I said, the only good thing here is doesn't get finished. I do think he looked a little bit better at 155 tonight than he did at 145, but we'll see how the UFC sort of decides that there. So tough loss there for Billy Q. He is my third biggest stock dropper. If you want to go an honorable mention here, it's hard to say. Again, there wasn't a lot that really stood out to me as far as like an honorable mention. Maybe you could go Billy Ray Goff because he's going to get released from the UFC. You think of him coming into the UFC with that really good Contender Series win and just hasn't been able to put it together. Now 3 straight losses. I doubt he's getting another fight here because he's lost 3 in a row. Even one of the guys that beat him, Trey Waters, isn't even in the UFC anymore. So they might end up cutting ties with him. We'll see. 28 years old though still. So, tough one there. But that's my stock report here. Again, Saul killed, Alexia, Juliana Miller were my stock risers, Louis Sutherland, Gamrot, and Cortillo are the stock droppers. So, like usual, let me know in the comments who you think the 3 biggest stock risers, who your 3 biggest stock droppers were on this card. Would love to hear from you as I'm trying to get the graphic going. There we go. Probably should move that up a little bit so it looks cooler. There we go. Let me know your stock risers and droppers in the comments. We'd love to hear that. Make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell. My name is James Lynch. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.